I'll cut it from. And so, like, if you've ever had like an onion on a sandwich or salad, and it's like, ugh, this is just not that much. It was probably because it was cut this way, which is meant to be cooked out. So, FYI. And I'm probably going to only do a couple of these for the salad and then use the rest of this to put into the curry because the extra onions always is nice for flavor.
What's the secret to cut so thin?
A really sharp knife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, you're right.
And watch your fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want those to be part of the dish, right?
He's cutting myself.
Cut it in. In this recipe, you see it calls for a white onion, which we didn't have in the kitchen, so we're gonna use the red onion instead, which is gonna be nice. And we're gonna use some onion powder, just to kind of balance out the white onion that we didn't have. Actually, like that we didn't have. But the flavor will still be good, and just kind of also show the taste can be versatile, like swapped out. The pot smells like a cotton. That sizzle was important. So we're literally just gonna let these do what they do. They're just gonna cook down for a little bit. And then the end. Or- All right, this is a hot house cucumber that we're gonna be using in the salad that we're making. I'm crying. I'm so excited to be here.
Randy, just speak up a little so that all of us online can hear you well.
Yeah, definitely. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what we have here is a hot house cucumber. The hot house cucumbers are the cucumbers that we find in plastic in the grocery store all year round. The reason it's called hot house is because it's grown in a greenhouse, and you can get this good quality of cucumber any season, right? The skin on these ones are also softer, so you don't have to cut them off like those garden varieties that are a little like tougher. And so it just makes the salad experience a lot more exciting. And this is going to be a salad that we eat with our curry. It's just a nice, simple, cooling, complimentary salad, because we're not going to make this one too spicy. But a lot of times curries happen to be pretty spicy. And so having a cucumber salad next to it just kind of helps to balance that out. So just a simple, I don't have like super fancy tips for cutting cucumbers outside of the fact that this is a hot house versus a regular. But what is helpful is that when you cut your cucumbers and stack them, just like how with the onions, you could cut them into easy, simple cubes. You can do the same thing here too. What are some things that you all like to put into your salads?
Onions, tomatoes, spinach, okay, mine. Then I have the romaine lettuce, what's the other thing, arugula?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I put that in there.
Cheese.
Cheese, yep.
Mango. Mango.
Yep.
Recently I did a cob, like a play on a cob salad and added mango to it, and it was really nice. I like mango on salad.
Give it some sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
And it's cool too, if you can add some heat to it, like this particular one, we're gonna put some jalapenos in there. Which is just a nice little balance from the coolness from the cucumbers, the heat from your jalapenos.
Yeah, have a little louder.
Yes, okay. Got it. And if y'all guys online, if I start to go low, let me know. Sometimes I go into my,
Barbara, I sent you a text.
say it again?
Barbara, I sent you a text.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, anybody online, what kind of stuff do you happen to like making in a salad? Anybody online want to unmute? You can let us know if there's something you like to put in a salad.
Fresh basil, fresh rosemary.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Absolutely.
Even some fresh mint.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah.
You know what I've done? Mint and basil together.
Yes.
That's a nice combination.
Yeah.
That's
cilantro is good,
Yeah.
Mushrooms?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mentioned it, I love it, yeah.
All right.
Cooked or raw?
I could
Cook, just like halfway.
Uh-huh.
Like steam
I
it.
think Aldine has her hand raised.
Thank you. Chickpeas.
Yeah.
Chickpeas, that's how you
Wow.
Put that again, hot house,
Hot house.
hot house.
Hot house cucumber.
I like the crunchy stuff. I always like to put nuts in it,
Yes.
Oh,
some
Yeah.
sort of sunflower seeds or whatever.
that sounds good, yeah.
Actually, the last time you had the roasted chickpeas, and that's
Yeah.
always good in the salad.
Salad. They play like croutons, but like extra protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son puts strawberry, but it doesn't contain the goes with this.
Right. Not with this, yeah, but yeah, usually.
Yeah, strawberries.
But it doesn't,
But this one, yeah.
that's what I was thinking. You have to know what to do.
I'm just gonna add in that onion powder I was talking about. To support the red onions that we just put in there. And now that the onions are probably gonna give them an extra like minute just to kind of sweat down.
Oh, that's what I'm about to ask you.
Yeah.
So if you use
Just throw it under the
Yeah.
pan.
if you use the white onion, you don't have to use the powder.
Correct.
Oh.
Yep. And you don't necessarily need to use the powder, it's just the chef in me is always recalibrating things in real time, so that's pretty much what that was. If you literally just had a red onion, and you didn't have onion powder, I wouldn't stress going to find an onion powder. It was just there, so it's just a nice layer of flavor, and also because this recipe is salt-free, as far as added salt is concerned, onion powder is a great way to replace salt in a recipe.
Yes, yeah.
So it also helps there. So now we're gonna add in our garlic and our ginger. And one cool thing about ginger is that you can actually peel it with a with a spoon, any spoon as you can see. So you don't have to like cut it and
Yeah.
lose a lot of the ingredient. You literally just kill the peel and that's it.
Can you use cumin powder instead of leaves?
Yeah, you can
And how would you, like,
rebalance it out. That's off of my head, I don't know, but I could send it.
You could Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you mind just repeating the question, just so.
Yeah,
people like-
the question was, if you didn't have cumin seeds, could you use just cumin powder? And the answer to the question is yes. I don't know the conversions off the top of my head. But if you don't have that, you can swap it.
Do you peel the ginger? I find it very hard to peel the ginger.
Yeah, so the easiest, like what the spoon really makes it easy. I mean, any spoon, like I happen to use this spoon because this is the one, but if you have a teaspoon or a tablespoon, it'll just peel right off. I think it's more challenging to peel with a knife.
It
What
is,
about the
it is.
potato peeler?
The potato peel is cool, but you have to
Takes
clean
out
it.
too much?
Well, I think it's harder to clean than a spoon.
Oh,
But then you gotta go through and like peel, take
Yeah.
it out, so
Okay.
the spoon, and a spoon not only is good to peel ginger, it's also good to peel a carrot, so you can pull a
Yeah.
carrot off the spoon too, so. Just if you don't wanna, I'm all about being as efficient as possible in the kitchen.
Usually I do the potato.
Wait to put your film. The carrots.
Cool, so this ginger, so I got this mince, oh no, we got the grater thing. That's what this is.
Do.
All right. Grater. So we're gonna grate our ginger. And grating ginger actually gets you more flavor, I find, when you grate it, and it's obviously a lot faster than chopping it up. You can actually smell it. For the people that are here, sorry guys, online, but when you grate it, you can actually really smell ginger. And ginger is a great source of it has a great anti-inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory is good for your.
Anti-nausea too.
There
Yeah.
also raises your blood pressure.
Raises your blood pressure.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
I did not eat them.
I didn't hear that.
That's what they want. But
I did the opposite. Look it up.
Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Me too.
Right now. Yeah, I never, I could have lowered it. That's what I was told. So I don't know.
No, I was told that, right, so, like it's good for 129.
So that's what the balance it with beets. So beets actually lower the blood pressure, so maybe if you have ginger, you add beets to it.
Oh, you got it?
First thing, okay, because the question was, it said it raises your blood pressure. The first thing it says in highlight, ginger does not raise your blood
I
pressure.
didn't know. I didn't know it. I said it lowered it.
It says it's actually beneficial in lowering your blood
There you
pressure
go.
by
There
dilating
you
your blood
go.
vessels and improving blood
That's
circulation.
what I said.
Now, of course, I'm not a doctor,
Mhm.
so, if you're concerned, I would definitely, ask your doctor about it. I'm no expert. I can Google the best of them, but that's what it says.
Yeah.
So,
If you have a sore throat and you can use ground ginger in a poultice in warm water and wear it around your neck.
so
Yeah.
ground ginger and a poultice around your neck for sore throats. That works.
And vampires. It's for me.
And no, that's ginger. That's scarlet.
That's going.
Yeah, that's good for breaking up mucus too. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like the sore throat, like the
Well, you know what I've done is I've made a tea of just sliced up some ginger, let it boil down
Yes,
for a little bit. I've added a little honey and
Yes.
I even got lavender buds. And added and make a nice tea
Yeah.
and it really
Good for you.
it's good, yeah.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah.
Right. We can start to smell it. And especially when you're using what is this called, garlic? You never want to add it before you're ready to start building everything else around it because it will burn. And when garlic burns, it is not tasty at all.
No, it's not
It's
good.
very bitter and it will take over the whole dish. When we were in school, one of the assignments that they did was to burn ginger and then drink the water so we could tell like how much it messes up the dish. It's been a lesson that sticks into your mind a lot. It's not a good taste at all. So now we're gonna get our spices. So the spices that we're gonna add here, we're gonna do some cinnamon, some bar masala, some coriander, some turmeric, paprika.
Ooh, wow, I can really smell everything. Get over here.
Yeah.
There's cumin. There's more, that's paprika, that's something else. This is. All right, cool, spices. We want to add these spices and I'm gonna bring them to the cam in a second, guys, that are joining us online. Give me 1 minute to just get everything in the pot for you. We'll put them in and the whole idea is that you put them in and you want them to become like fragrant. It's this whole idea, it's called like opening up a spice. And it really helps to enhance the flavor. So if you guys see, this is the onions, the garlic, ginger, and all the spices that we put in so far. And everybody here, you guys get to smell it and also see it as well. Right, so we're gonna put it back on the heat and just give it some time to open up. Now, this whole concept like opening up or like toasting spices can also be applied to grains. So say for instance, you're making like a rice, or you're making quinoa or something like that, and you want to just give it a different flavor. When you make your, say you add some onions and peppers to your pot, you let that cook down, you add your spices into it, then you add in your rice or you add in your quinoa, and you toast it a little bit before you add in your water or broth. It's gonna change the taste of that. So this is another way to impart more flavor and make something that you have regularly a little different. I personally have started doing that with oatmeal. Like I eat oatmeal a lot, and I was tired of just having oatmeal. So I was just like, let me see if I toast these things, will it make a difference? And it really has. Like I'm enjoying my oatmeal. It's like a whole new experience now since I started toasting the oat. So just a way to mix things up. If you are having the same thing a lot and you want something a little different, you guys gotta hear, because you now start to smell these spices a little bit.
Yeah.
You didn't put anything in there, just that? No water?
No oil, yeah, it's a great point. So I personally follow a list of protocol. This does not cook, we don't cook with oil. And the whole idea is that it just adds unnecessary calories to a dish, right? You don't really need it. You see, even without it, and when you guys taste it, you're not gonna miss the flavor. It's not gonna taste like this is missing something. And I always like to challenge people who go, oh my goodness, how do you cook without oil? It's not gonna taste good. Have you ever eaten anything and said, oh my goodness, this would be so amazing if it had a little more oil? Like never. You may say a little more salt, a little more garlic, a little more spice, right? But no one usually misses the oil. So it's more of a habit. Don't get me wrong, it gives like a decadentness to it. It makes caramelization a lot more aggressive in a dish, but you don't really need it to make it happen. So no, nothing.
And the oatmeal, I do it, but I put a little butter. My daughter taught me that, a little butter, you put the oatmeal, some flaxseed, and you let it toast. So do you need the butter for the oatmeal or not?
No, I just
What beans do you add to the salad?
We've lost sound. Yeah, we've lost sound, Brandy. We can't hear you for some reason. It was good, and all of a sudden it cut out. It looks like you all are.
There we go. Oh,
Right,
there
yeah.
we go.
Are we
Thank
back?
you.
Okay, we're back. What beans do you use in this salad?
Oh, so in this chickpea recipe, we're gonna be using chickpeas.
Just chickpeas.
That's chickpea straight. So
Okay,
it's the
all right,
base,
thank you very much.
no
I
problem.
love you. I'm going on, but I want to go on to,
Thanks.
no offense made. I love your class.
Thank you. And yes, I agree with what you're saying. A lot of times the oil was the thing so that it doesn't stick to the pan, but we realized that like if you heat the pan properly, you don't need it. And especially if you're thinking about the first things we usually put into our pot are vegetables, right? And those things have a high content of water. So as that vegetable cooks down, the water's releasing and also helping to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. So that also helps with that as well. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so now that we have our spices in, the next thing that we dive in are the tomatoes. So it was two, and so to make sure I give you guys the right ratio. Yeah, there we go.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one who sits there and mutters to myself whenever I'm. You're younger than we are, so, you know.
That's how you organize yourself.
People visit me and they're like, are you talking to me? And I'm like, no, totally not talking to you.
One was diced.
Yes, one was diced and one was crushed.
And those are the fire
Fire
roasted?
roasted, yes.
Ooh.
And fire, fire roasted, that just like how we talked about toasting the like the grains, when you toast the one of these things called the tomatoes, it's interesting because it brings out the sweet and the salt that exists in tomatoes. So tomatoes, even if you get a can of tomatoes that has no added salt and you read the label, you'll still see that there's some sodium in it because tomatoes naturally are a source of sodium, right? But you also know that tomatoes, if you've ever had tomatoes in season, they're like deliciously sweet and just delicious, right? So when you roast them, you kind of end up activating the sweet and the salt part of it, and you don't have to add anything else to it because literally those two notes exist just with that. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna add in our chickpeas as well. These are just regular cooked chickpeas that came from a can.
Excuse me,
Yes,
can I ask something? I'm here in person.
definitely.
Chickpeas that you use. I remember reading that you have to be very careful using chickpeas. If they're raw, they are poisonous. So you have to get cooked or canned chickpeas.
Now, when you say poison, you mean, now, I've never heard this, no expert, I'm just talking you through it because I'm always
So if
curious.
you want to repeat that, so. the
Yeah, so
people can
somebody,
hear that.
yep, somebody,
Google.
offered
Yeah.
to. Offered to us that raw chickpeas are poisonous, so you have to make sure that you cook them, right?
Right.
It's interesting because when people make falafel, like traditionally, when you make falafel, it's made with the raw chickpea. So I don't know if it's because it's soaked, maybe you have to soak them before
But
you
you have
use
to
them.
be careful with some beans.
Mhm.
Because in their raw state, they can be poisonous.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm glad-
I'm really
I'm glad you
interested
brought that up.
in the answer to that because I have raw chickpeas in my refrigerator. That I was going to ask you, have you ever worked with raw chickpeas?
I have, yeah, I do, that's why I'm curious myself, and I usually use them and I not boil them, I soak them, so I've never just like taken them out the bag and just eaten them.
Edamame, the same thing. You know, but edamame.
Yeah,
You have to read about them
mhm,
and how you can use them and, you know, how you know.
got it.
You should not use them.
Cool, oh, that's
That's
interesting,
good,
I would speak a little more, I'm not an expert in this,
I know.
yeah, and
None
like
of us are, but I have to look
beans
it up.
versus, yeah, especially edamame tends to usually come already steamed when you get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Chef Brandy, so if the chickpeas are still like in the little husk, just soak them to get the husk off?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so, and if you want to, I mean, yeah, and it's gonna be tougher if you eat them with the husk on, like you can eat them with it, but it's gonna be more delicate if you take it off, right? Sometimes it's aesthetic too, I know people who literally peel the husk before they make hummus, I think that's excessive, but that's just me. You see people literally like peel off the
I
skin to
used
make
to
hummus,
love
yeah,
I
same
used to
stuff. Yeah, and this is coconut milk that we're adding in.
Makes everything better.
Yes. And if we're gonna use like a fat source, right, coconut milk is definitely more beneficial than oil. It actually has like a flavor, gives us a little more sustenance. And we're literally just gonna sit here for like the next 10 minutes or so, and just let this marry itself all together. Guys, this is what it looks like before it marries. Then we'll see what it looks like during the ceremony at Union. Ceremony. So in the meantime, we're gonna finish our salad.
So the garlic, if you, let's say you're going to saute, escargot. Would you put some oil or just warm up the pan? You know what I mean? Because the escargot after washing out the water. So would you put oil or not?
I know.
No?
No, just into the pan, just make sure the pan is, like I said, the water dances when you put it in. As long as the pan's properly heated, you don't need the oil.
And the garlic, no oil.
No oil with the garlic. I just put it into the pan. With garlic, what I will say is that maybe after about 30 seconds to a minute, right? So that it doesn't burn, you might want to add in a little bit of water or like broth or something, just to make sure it doesn't burn, but you don't need the oil.
Okay, the answer to the chickpea question is, beans have toxins in them if they're in the raw state. Plus, they're very hard, so cooking them breaks that down.
Yeah, break it down, yeah. Yep.
So I don't know if it can kill you, but it might be unpleasant. What's the other? I'm sorry, what?
In some cases, some of the vegetable growers have begun to breathe that poison out. So in some cases, you may be able to eat it.
Right.
But as you know, there's hybrid versions of
Okay,
things.
well, I'm
that
not
are
familiar with that, so.
You know, I just wanted to bring it out. I didn't want to throw any.
No.
So what you're saying is, that for anybody online who couldn't hear, that supposedly the farmers are now creating hybrid chickpeas and things that don't have the toxins in them. So, okay, anybody online have any questions?
And just for the gang that's in person, are we spicy people or are we not spicy?
Oh, I am.
Spicy.
I love spice.
Okay, so I'll keep-
So we want maybe
half the
moderate,
seeds,
moderate.
the seeds into the.
We don't want to
Yes,
This is jalapeno?
yeah,
Yeah.
jalapeno. We're gonna take half, we're gonna do 1/4 of the seeds, so just half of the seeds from 1/2 of the jalapeno. So we get a little bit of kick, cause the heat, most of the heat is in the seeds. And there's no real, like I said, I used to hear little stories about, oh yeah, this pepper can, if you cut it this way, literally just cut it in half. Take the seeds out to make sure. I always say if you're not sure, because every jalapeno does have its own kind of heat tolerance and not all are equally hot, like the same type of spice. So maybe starting with taking the seeds out first to kind of gauge. And then as you continue to build your dish, you can add more seeds in, if you want it to be a little hotter. So I always start with less. That's in general with spices in general. It's easier to add more. It's really challenging to take out or to rebalance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody have plans for the long weekend? Nothing special?
Eating.
Eating, okay, what are we eating?
Including people online, what's anybody doing? Are you eating anything special over the weekend?
Pizza.
I think they're
I think they're all new.
That's it.
I live in Kansas City and the Kansas City Symphony is playing on Sunday night with the 1812 overture with the cannonballs and fireworks. So that should be nice outside, obviously.
I'm going to a youth fashion show today.
Where?
The JFK campus.
It's on the high school student?
Yep, Bronx Theater and Arts. The kids are doing their fashion show today.
Be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut a line. So I teach this community class at, where do I teach this class? At a greenhouse in Harlem. And I think we did tacos that week, and one of the kids who came told me how to cut a lime in a way that I didn't even know how to cut a lime. So I've been sharing this lime cutting technique with everybody because it really allows you to get maximum juice out of this ingredient. So when you take it and you cut it, like you hold it up and you cut it like this. Then you flip it, so the little seed in the center, you want to cut to both sides of it.
Oh, wow.
Right, and then you want to also cut this side to the side of it and the side of it, right? And you'll see when you squeeze it, like you get maximum juice.
Oh.
Without needing to do much of anything. So just one of the tricks that I've been loving, sharing and just using too. It just makes
Wow.
Yeah. So this has been fun.
Yeah, that's the way I.
That's
Really?
Yeah,
That's the way I thought it.
I love it. I just learned this way. It's so
For rum and coke.
I was.
I share this.
Yeah,
thing,
Cuba Libre.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shared this today, I had another demo recently.
Yeah, that's.
And someone said, "Oh, And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I went out to drink, like, it was so second nature to her. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe people like the drinkers in the group, they know this technique.
Yeah,
so.
because you don't need the whole half, you only need like
A little
one.
piece.
So you do it like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, but yeah, as you guys see, like, there's so much, usually when you just cut it in half and try to squeeze it, you
Yeah,
don't get
it's hard, you don't get all
near
the-
as much
no.
juice.
I've seen chefs on TV just take a plain fork
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go through it in a.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that, yeah, I've seen that.
Yep, that's-
My mother did that. First squeeze the lemon. There was no limes then.
Mhm.
And then with the fork. And then
That's-
squeeze.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's a good way. I
That
like
is
it.
the way, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
She really got a lot of juice. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's-
Cool. I think I used all of the spices for this prematurely. I don't know. if
We have you have the cilantro in there, I don't know if you need that
Thank you.
for.
I need half of it for the
spicy.
what do you call it?
Yeah,
For the salad.
my eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
your eyes also, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And with this cilantro, I don't know if you guys can see this bowl is like. With this cilantro, I'm not just using the leaves, I'm also using the stems. A lot of times when people are cutting herbs, they like to like pick the leaves off and not use the stems, but you don't have to do that. Especially for your lighter herbs, like for a rosemary, yes, you want to just take the rosemary pieces off, but you use the stems, that's not gonna be fun. But like your parsleys and your cilantros, your dills, you could totally just use the stem. They also impart a lot of extra flavor too.
You're gonna need, do you have more? Do you need, are you gonna need more for the,
I'm gonna need just for the garnish for the
how much do you need? I can
That's it.
run to get.
Perfect, yeah, and can you also grab some cayenne cumin onion powder?
I can,
Thank you.
let's
Yes,
do it.
Yes, we
Okay.
You wanna use three the same one?
Sure, whatever.
Thank you so much.
Being eco-friendly.
Yes, indeed. Cool. So now, like literally now we're just kind of waiting for this loveliness to come together once we season the salad. This is smelling like it's gonna be ready shortly. Let me just show online where we are with our
Nice.
curry.
Looks good, yeah.
And as you guys see, really, really simple. All we did was, it was onions, spices, tomatoes, coconut milk, and the chickpeas. You can, like I say, this is the basic version of it. Like I've done this, I've added potatoes, I've added spinach to it. I've
I
added
love that. Spinach.
Yeah. Like-
Yeah.
different things, so you can do it. I've also done it and added peppers, like a red pepper, green, not
Green
green,
pepper,
not green,
yellow
not-
pepper.
yellow and orange, yeah.
Orange,
Green
yeah.
peppers change the flavor. a
Yeah, it
little
does,
much
yeah.
for me. Yeah, so.
So this
Yes.
garam masala, you take in the dice department?
Yes, it's actually easier to find than you think. And like if you go to a spice department, most of them have, you'll find it readily available at every Indian grocery store,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
nowadays you could
And
actually
this is garam masala.
garam masala.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's also really good in a tea. If you ever like if you wanted to make like a spice tea, that's a good spice that you use in that. Yeah.
McCormick doesn't make it though.
I don't think McCormick makes it. I know Frontier makes one. They're like the guys that come in the cylinder containers with the black top. I don't know if you've seen those ones. And there's around here on 234th and Broadway, there is a dollar store that is run by an Indian family, and they have a really excellent selection of Indian spices and ingredients there. Yes.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
234, right, it's like
Yeah.
it's right across from the shopping center that has staples on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, across
Right
from.
across the street, right there,
Yeah,
right
across the
across the
street.
street. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, it's not 234, it's the block down, so 232. Yeah, not Gallaudet, it was that one that's 232?
232.
Yes, right, that's where it is. That one, they have a good price, a good selection of different chickpeas and different Indian
Yeah, they do.
herbs there.
Which one is that?
232nd and Broadway.
It's not Garden.
It's literally, so Garden Gourmet, and then the next block is a dollar store right
It's
there.
not 232nd though.
That's,
It's 233rd or 234.
Where is it now?
it's not
No, it's
234.
232nd.
$234, that's
Deal
$1.
used to be.
It's a street name, it's a name.
It's like Kimberly's too far down.
It's
But it's,
Tyndall.
okay, so now let's talk about it based off of the location. Garden Gourmet is the grocery store, right? The next block, I don't know, I can't remember the name, but that next block, whatever that dollar store is there, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, going south.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll just be more expensive at Garden Gourmet. That's right.
Yeah.
You could, but you would, it wouldn't be as, cinnamon as a level of like a depth of flavor that isn't as high as, the sugar is. So you could, but you're gonna have a better flavor with the just cinnamon.
You
Yes.
are ready for the cinnamon on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that was.
I can smell it.
All right.
Yes. All right, so thank you, Barbara, our soup for today. More spices. This is a little cumin. I can set just. Cayenne and a little more onion powder. And this is just, like I say, a simple cooling salad to go alongside our curry. This salad also does well with tomatoes, like if you have some of those, especially in the summer. I grew up, my grandmother, both my grandma, my mom and dad's parents grew tomatoes. So like I have a very special relationship with tomatoes. Like I just eat them straight. I have friends that keep telling me stop telling them.
Feeling just eat them just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we used to go to Virginia.
Yes.
Virginia, we went to
That's
school,
what my family
right
from.
up, just eat them just like
Yeah.
that.
My friend's like, stop telling people that tomatoes are candy or apples brandy, because I'm like, they taste just like candy when they're in season. But no one thinks a tomato tastes like it. But if you have it in season and it's nice and sweet and juicy, it's pretty impressive. Like it makes a good jam too. Like have you ever made tomato jam before?
Yeah. Oh, I tasted it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll be back.
All right. I just want to add in this, what is this? This cilantro at the end, and anytime you're using fresh herbs, you want to add them, the delicate, and I would say like mostly the delicate fresh herbs, you add at the end. Sometimes if you're doing like a what do you call it, like a thyme or something, you put that at the top because it's a little heartier and it won't just kind of cook out. But your things like your basils, your parsley, your cilantro, you want to get those in last so that they don't go bitter and they still have that nice fresh flavor that they add to a dish.
You still have the lime over there?
Yeah.
For the garnish for later. Will you put the lime?
I just use just for the juice. Yeah, no garnish for this in this case.
But the lime, you already put it inside?
No,
Not yet, that's
not yet.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I put just, I squeeze the rest of whatever
Okay.
we get out here just at
Alright.
the end. Yep. And we're gonna be able to taste it soon. Now, when you guys curry, how do we feel about it? Like, is it something that you have often?
Yeah, I love curry.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Maybe we eat it with bread or
Even make the
rice.
curry powder without being mixed up.
Uh-huh,
My mother, when we were young, because she's from an Indian background, my father he was too.
uh-huh,
They used to make the curry from scratch.
okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember what they used to put in it?
No.
No?
You use cumin, you
Uh-huh.
use
Turmeric?
turmeric and ginger.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, coriander.
And coriander, that's it,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Funny. Like, I love this. talking to people about those types of things.
Mhm.
I'm gonna line up the final dish here for the folks to see online. Guys, and this is where we ended.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's so good. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm just peeing it. Things make it.
Before we go, because we're gonna, she's serving everything up. Does anybody online, you can unmute or raise your hand. Does anybody have any questions?
You're killing me with the way it looks so good. Remind me how we get these delicious recipes.
I'm sorry, you know what, I'll send the link again because I have everything already on the portal. But I will make sure that everybody online gets it, so that they can have the recipes and try it out themselves. And then you're gonna have to write us back at info@rssny.org and let us know how it is, or it's actually food@rssny.org. And let us know how you like it. Because,
good.
you know, we're looking to hear back from you guys too.
Yes.
Thank you. I didn't quite see how to make the juiciest line.
Okay.
When you cut it.
We can, if I don't know how long you're gonna stay, but we can, I can talk about it one more time.
Yeah, you can do that before we start.
Yeah,
Sure. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start putting these on a tray.
okay.
I'm gonna try this when I go home, definitely. Definitely. Go shop and get all the ingredients and do it. We're gonna-
Randy, how would you?
Yes, guys, what's the question?
You make it to bring to a party. So
Uh-huh.
how would you reheat it?
So question was, all right, the question was, if you're bringing this to a party, how would you reheat it?
Yeah, so you could just put it back on the stove, or you can put it in the oven. If you put it into a pan that you can put into the oven, you can reheat it that way.
It would be better, right? Because it
It won't dry out as much.
So
yeah.
how would you eat this and accompany this with?
Bread, probably some type of pita or like a naan bread. Something in that way.
Yeah.
That's usually how I eat it. Sometimes I just eat it like this, but rice is my go-to because it's usually readily available in my house. I've also put it over top of a baked potato that I just.
Oh, that sounds better than the rice for me.
I've had it with sweet potatoes as well, like baked sweet potatoes, I kind of put it in the center.
Look with avocado.
Avocado.
Fill up an avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take the potato with the potato first and put it in.
I usually do,
Yeah, and the spinach, those raw.
a raw spinach, it's frozen too. But usually if I use frozen, I'll let it thaw, I'll drain that water out and then put it in.
Okay, so are you done with the cooking? Oh, you wanted to show, why didn't you, you know,
Salads.
why, we'll do the salads, but why didn't you show them the lime first?
Yes.
Because that was the question.
Try to reconstruct the.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we only have one line, maybe we'll make do for you.
All right, so say the lime is together, right? You wanna turn to the top and identify your top piece. And then you wanna cut to the left of it. You wanna cut to the right of it, right? Those two sides. And then when it lays flat, you cut the two sides off. So you end up with these two pieces, and then this little middle piece that you can kind of wring out. And when you use it, you end up getting maximum juice, like even now.
She's still getting it.
They're just, okay, yeah, there you go.
That's why you use the fork.
You can still get some juice out. We put a whole juice of lemon in these for the, what do you call that, for the salad, and we're still sourcing liquid
Still getting it.
in this stage. So yes, it is the maximum juice. We gotta find extracting technique, I guess is what we'll call it officially.
You're gonna just, there you go.
Wow.
Yes, I
Look at
know,
it,
I
look at that.
know, like a little design, everything goes in the pot.
Okay, so we're gonna quickly go on offline in a second, so this is your chance to ask any questions, because I know you, unless you're just gonna tell Brandy that she just has answered everything.
You've been very kind to include us online. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy you guys could join us and still get the experience, even though you can't taste it. Hopefully this inspires you to make it at home.
Barbara, you've got messages in the chat.
I'll look forward to getting the recipes.
Hold on, we have chat messages. Let me get, thank you. And as soon as I can find my mouse, there we go. All right, question. Ildin, thanks, Chef Brandy. I'm also on a plant-based eating journey, so I'm still looking to educate myself. I'll have to be at the center for the next presentation.
All right.
So you've got a convert. I like
Yes.
that. And okay, remind me how it will receive. I'll email them to you, Amy. Okay, to everybody.
Thanks again.
Sure thing. Okay, I think we're good. So, all right. And that's it. All right. So thank you for coming, guys, online, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you hopefully in June. Take care.
Do you have that date in June, Barbara?
Well, June 21st, unfortunately, for a dinner, I'll have to decide. I'll let you know if it's going to be hybrid or not, but I will be recording it. So that either way you will get to experience the food, the cooking. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Good. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.